And we are back. And we just finished watching 2024's Inside Out 2, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 36 minutes. I was like, that's kind of short. I realized it was short.
Normal.
This is by director Kelsey Mann, with writing credits to Meg LeFauve, Dave Holstein, Kelsey Mann, and Meg LeFauve. I guess Kelsey and Meg did the story, and the screenplay came from Meg and Dave. This is the follow-up to the wildly successful original Inside Out, and in this, Riley is now 13 and a teenager. And as part of that, is now riddled with more complex feelings and emotions. We're introduced to her anxiety, which is voiced by Maya Hawke, who is, I guess, the joy of the new subset of emotions, right? She's like the ringleader, as well as embarrassment, ennui, envy. Am I missing somebody? No, that was
nostalgia, but she wasn't supposed to be around
for a while, right? And again, we have disgust, fear, anger, and sadness. Okay, I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. Olive G, what did you think of the film?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, what'd you like about it? Did you think it was a good follow-up to the first story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of the new cast of characters or the new emotions, did you have a favorite?
I thought you were talking Grace.
No, I'm still talking to you.
Oh.
Did you like anxiety, ennui, embarrassment, or envy? All kind of weird emotions, but I guess that makes sense as you become a teenager.
Puberty. Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like embarrassment's the best, mostly because he helped out the
Sadness?
sadness when she was sneaking around the headquarters.
Yeah, I liked embarrassment too. What did you think of, without giving too much away at the story, what did you think about Riley's journey here? Did the things that were happening make sense? Did you feel like, I mean, there was a couple of times I think that we all cringed in embarrassment over some of the things that were going on. So
could you relate to any of it?
I mean, you were roughly Riley's age.
Yeah.
You're about to be her, like, in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a weird age to navigate.
I mean, I don't remember specific instances right now where I did the stuff that she did, but I probably did stuff like that.
I mean, we all have.
Yeah,
everybody has.
Everybody's, all those emotions in her head are stuff we've all experienced.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt anxious about anything? Has anxiety ever been at the controls?
I mean, I felt anxious because of tests sometimes.
That's normal. Absolutely. I felt that way. I'm sure you felt that way.
Oh my God, yeah.
Even as an adult, I still feel anxiety about certain things.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's a lifelong process.
Mm-hmm.
Puberty is messy, though.
Yes, puberty is messy. Well, when you're at puberty, it's every emotion is amped up to 11.
Oh my God. At least, if not more. I mean, there's a scene, again, without giving too much away, where Riley's in the penalty box, and I felt like she was going to give herself a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. That totally tracked, by the way. Mm-hmm. Gigi, what did you think of the film?
I thought it was very good. I thought it was cute.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite new emotion?
No.
What did you think about Riley's journey?
I thought that it was well portrayed.
Yeah. Did you relate to any of that?
I used to. I was getting really mad when she was like
being mean to her friends.
Well, not only that, but I was getting upset when she was like basically lying about herself and her interests.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I love that band. When she actually does love that band.
Right.
It made me upset. I used to do the same thing, but now it's like, just do whatever you feel like.
Right. But I think that comes with like maturity, right? So I think we all have to give ourselves a little bit of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Although it's hard in that moment, right? Because you're living it and it feels like the end all be all.
Do you feel like you could forgive yourself more now than you did when you were, say,
younger?
13?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. That's good. As someone who's going to go into this terrain, Olive G, how do you feel about going into this new I guess, chapter in your life?
I don't care.
No, you're going to be a teenager soon.
And
Well, I mean,
Do you feel like your sense of self is forming like it was for Riley?
no,
no.
it already has formed.
So you think you're done? You're set.
No,
This is how you're gonna be the
it'll
rest of your life.
change
It'll probably
over
change.
time.
Okay.
It'll
Even
probably
when
change.
I'm an adult.
Do you like the way they represented it? Like with the strings and the how everything sort of mattered and forming the sense of self?
Yeah.
That was pretty clever. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we previously saw Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, which is also sort of a coming of age story about a young woman. What do we think about the idea of coming of age? Like, when you see stories like this, do you feel like you get anything out of it? Did you learn anything while watching this, Olive G?
Nothing I already know.
Nothing you already don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that right?
I think so. So you're confident, but how do you feel about like putting yourself in in Riley's sort of situations when you come across like a situation where it's kind of uncomfortable or you're super embarrassed? Do you feel like you're prepared for any of that?
No.
No. Okay. I mean, do you think about it? Do you think about like what you would do in that sort of situation?
Not really. But
Not really.
sometimes when I'm about to go to sleep, I think about all the embarrassing things I did before. And then I cringe really hard and then I can't go to sleep.
That sounds
about right.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Well, just learn to give yourself some grace as well, okay? And forgive yourself, because I think that you're a work in progress, right? And I think that as long as you take each day and you try to learn something and try to better yourself, always be in competition with yourself. Be a better Olive than you were yesterday, okay?
Okay.
Gee, what about you? Do you, now that you're a little older, as opposed to when you were a little younger, do you feel like you give yourself a break? Do you forgive yourself?
I guess it takes me a little bit, but yeah, eventually.
Okay. You know that you're a mere mortal that's going to make mistakes, and it's okay. It's part of the growing up process.
Yeah.
How about you? What did you think of the film?
I liked it a lot. I liked it way more than I thought I would.
Same.
The trailer, in my mind, didn't really do it many
justice.
favors.
Yeah. But that's good, though, because it's interesting, because sometimes I feel like trailers give away too much.
Yeah, like and plus I was like, it left me with all these like questions, like how come none of the adults in the first film had any of these other emotions wandering around?
Yeah.
It was always the same set for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently they were just there. They were just behind a curtain or something.
Yeah.
It was the original core is usually the guys at the controls.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the way they explained everything, the way they
Showed everything.
they sort of like built upon this metaphor for the mind that they developed in the first one, where it's all these little glowing balls of memory stacked up, as far as the eye could see. And all the, it's imagination land. Oh, it's abstract thinking. It's
Friendship Island.
It's Friendship Island. The islands. You find out what exactly the islands are for. I liked how most of the islands were the same, but Family Island had greatly atrophied, which is very true.
Yeah, when you're a teenager,
your
young counterparts play
Friendship
a big part.
Island is gigantic now,
Yeah.
and Family Island is just this little
wispy thing
with a statue on it. That's it. Meanwhile, Friendship Island has like giant animated laughing heads.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed how they built that. I enjoyed how they described the whole, like, each memory, if it goes down into that one spot, it shoots up the threads that make up what
Sense of self.
her sense of self. It was interesting because I could tell that something bad was going to happen because of the way Joy was running things.
Right.
Because everything was just great.
Yeah.
I'm a good person. I'm good at sports. I'm smart. I'm a great
good
friend.
Yeah.
And
if we learned nothing from the first movie, it's that you have to.
Yeah, there's good and bad. Everybody is made up of their good and their bad parts.
Right.
You have to come to terms with that.
Right.
You have to realize that sometimes I may be selfish. Sometimes I may be jealous.
Right. Sometimes I'm not a good friend.
Sometimes I'm not a good friend.
Yeah. I'm glad that she had her.
Yeah, she has that like epiphany in the box when everybody is back together and they're trying to make things work. And I like how Joy once again realized the mistake that she had made.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh, we did it. And no, there's still, you have to grow.
Issues,
you have to grow.
Yeah.
And you can't shy away from the bad things in your life.
No.
You have to accept them and you have to learn from them.
You know, it's funny. So I'm going to out myself. I cried a lot at the end of this film. And that sequence at the end where Joy's basically narrating and saying how we love our girl, all of her. It made me think about American Fiction when the brothers are talking to each other and Monk's brother says to him, you have to let people love you, like all of you, not just pieces of you, not like the best parts of you, but even like the messy things about yourself.
Yeah,
and I think that's such a human thing, right? And we try to put our best foot forward, especially when you're a teenager. I think it's so important to impress your friends, to want to be accepted, to want to be part of the group. She very much wanted that girl Valentina to like her. She wanted to be accepted into that group, but it's not every day is going to be puppies and rainbows. And I think that was like such a great message in the first one. And it seems like Joy lost sight of that a little, but she comes around and she realizes that you got to take the good and the bad together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm horribly impressed with this film. I didn't, like you said, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, and it's such a great companion piece to the first one. Olive G, what did you think about the scene where Riley is talking to Bree and Grace and they sort of come to this reunion? You want to think about it? Okay. G, do you have any opinions about that sequence?
Not really.
No?
It was nice. I'm glad that she apologized to her friends because she was being a jerk. But
She was.
Yeah, she was also really stupid about it too. Or maybe that was Joy being weird because she really should have shut up in the locker room at the beginning.
Yeah. I also thought it was interesting because it seemed like, and again, I think sometimes we're our own worst critics. It feels like you're harder on yourself than you need to be, because when Riley finally admits to her friends why she's been jerky to them, they're very forgiving and understanding.
Yeah.
And it's like, to them, it was like, okay, we're friends. Whereas I think Riley was like, well, this chapter in my life is over. I now have to look to the future.
Yeah, well, that was the anxiety taking over.
Right.
Perhaps anxiety would not have taken over to the degree that it did if her friends hadn't told her what they told her in the car.
Right. Right. And also, anxiety definitely makes things bigger than they need to be.
Yeah. And like I said, what they told her in the car, it reflects what happened in her head, because if anything is going to push joy out of your mind, it's, what do you mean what do you mean you guys are going away? Or,
Right.
What do you mean? What do you mean our entire plan is a shambles now? It's like, we went to this hockey camp for a reason, and now you're telling me, nah.
Yeah.
So that's the end of joy right there.
Yeah.
Now it's all
Anxiety.
It's all fear and anxiety, although anxiety took over even more so than fear.
Yeah.
Fear liked anxiety.
Well, I think he could relate, right?
He was a fan of her because she was like him, amplified 1,000, all the scenarios.
Right. Whenever he talked to Joy, he'd be like, I'm sure anxiety would have
Anxiety would have known what was going to happen.
Yeah. All right, so I think we can all agree that this is definitely a thumbs up.
Yeah.
This is definitely one to watch. I'm going to go around the table and get numbers. I'm going to start with myself. I think from start to finish, the storytelling is just really well done. This is definitely Pixar at its best. I really, really enjoyed this. I am going to give this a 9. What say you, Olive G? 1 to 10. What are you going to give this film?
9.
Yeah, I'll go 9 too.
What about you?
I'll also give it a 9.
Excellent.
I didn't think I would, but this is a 9.
Yeah, same. I was like super surprised. I think I may have given the first one a 10, but this is definitely a 9. I don't know if it's perfect, but there's definitely it's a strong script. It's good. It's really fantastic storytelling. The voice actors in that have been added here do a really great job. I think Maya Hawke is fantastic as Anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see it. So yeah, came out today on Disney Plus. Definitely go check it out. All right. So any other thoughts? Anybody?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
All right. So then we're going to wrap it up again. Out on Disney Plus, Inside Out 2. Check it out for sure. It's not to be missed. It's really, really good. I'm again pleasantly and happily surprised at how good this was. All right. So we will bid you all a
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
good night.